welcome to yet another fantastic episode here at Kaluhi'S kitchen. I'm really thrilled about this particular episode because it's something I have been thinking about sharing with you guys for quite some time, and it's 3 of my favorite ways to upgrade your noodles. Noodles are amazing, they're easy to make, but why eat plain noodles when you can sauce them up and make them super delicious? And that's what we're going to get into today, so I hope you're equally as excited. To my returning service, thank you so much for always being here. I love you guys to death. And to my new watchers, after this video, subscribe hapo haraka sana. With that said, guys, let's get right into it, and let me show you 3 fantastic ways to upgrade your noodles. Karibuni. It's mighty clear by now that the main body for the 3 recipes we're going to make today has noodles as the star ingredient. Noodles are available in many varieties, but what I know for sure that in this country, instant noodles are the most popular, so that's what I went for this recipe. However, any other kind of noodle is still fine for this recipe. Just go for whatever calls to your heart and whichever type of noodle you personally prefer. My noodles are already prepped. They are in this pot, and just prep them according to the manner in which the packet prescribes, but do not add those to seasonings because they may clash with the ingredients you're going to use for the 3 recipes. So just prepare your noodles the kawaida way, then set aside. For this recipe as well, just for the interest of adding a bit more interesting flavor for my noodles, I cooked my noodles in some bone broth. Sometimes I cook them in some soup. Cooking them in water is still fine. I mean, water is life, but flavor is also life. So if you can go an extra mile, why not? So if you want to add flavor to your noodles, don't use water, and instead of that, cook them in some hot soup or in a bone broth. Very simple as well, but the flavor you're going to get on the other side, absolutely fantastic. Remember, kuno ubaya na maji, you can still just use water, but if you can add flavor, all the better. So with that said, and with our noodles ready, let's go right into recipe number 1. So recipe number 1 is my lemon chicken noodles. It's very simple to make, very few ingredients, but guys, when I tell you the flavor in your mouth, it's very delicious. I usually enjoy the flavors of any citrus fruit with that of chicken or fish. So for this one, pairing lemon and chicken is just something very simple but quite special to have, and something you'll never forget. For this recipe, I wanted to use chicken breast, but I noticed in my freezer I only had drumsticks, so that's what I used. I just deboned them and then prepared them for my searing. But if you can use chicken breast, go right ahead. The particulars are indicated on the blog, so don't forget, once you watch this, go and get the exact ingredients. But in the meantime, let's get cooking. To my sufuria that has some ghee and some salt, I'm going to add in my red onion, garlic, rosemary, and lemon zest. We're going to saute this until fragrant and softened. Thereafter, we're going to add our chicken strips, give it a quick mix, and quickly follow this by our tomato paste, our curry, our turmeric, and a splash of lemon juice. We're going to saute this until the chicken is cooked through. That will take about 4 minutes, and thereafter we're going to add in our noodles, give it a nice mix, and thereafter we're ready to serve. Absolutely gorgeous, very simple to put together, saucy, meaty, and you're really going to enjoy this one. The whole kitchen smells so aromatic. We are not going to give this a taste test yet because I haven't taken photos for my blog. But so far so good, and I hope you give this recipe number 1 a shot. So we're going to put this aside and go right into recipe number 2. Okay, now we are now on to the next recipe, and this one I love in particularly because of the mushrooms. You guys know I really enjoy my mushrooms, and they shine in a million different recipes. So in case you want my past mushroom recipes, go to my blog, type mushrooms on the search tab, press search, and then you'll get all the past recipes. But for today, we are adding to that amazing catalog my creamy mushroom noodle recipe that I'm sure you guys are really going to enjoy. For this particular recipe, I went with pattern uluya imetoka. I went with button mushrooms, but you can go with cremini mushrooms, you can go with portobello mushrooms, you can go with shiitake mushrooms, or a couple of combinations, but either way it's going to be spectacular. So for a next recipe, here's how I'm going to make it. To my sufuria that has some coconut oil and some salt, I'm going to add in my red onion, garlic, and dhania stems. I'm going to saute these until softened and fragrant, and then thereafter I'm going to add my mushrooms, my coriander powder and pepper, and then mix them in and allow them to saute until golden brown and softened. I will then pour in my coconut cream, give it a mix, and then add in my noodles, toss them in the mixture, and thereafter we are ready to serve. Recipe number 2 under the belt, and this one looks so beautiful, and I love so many qualities about it because it reminds me of me. It's beautiful like me, it's creamy like me. And this is one recipe you're really going to enjoy. It smells fantastic, and I'm particularly excited about trying this out because of the mushrooms. But before we get into tasting, let's close this chapter and get into recipe number 3. Okay, my darling, we're getting on very well. We're now on the final recipe, and I'm so excited about proceeding with this one because if we are being honest, you could never ever go wrong with minced meat. And because of that, I dedicated my third recipe to it being minced meat and peas and all things delicious, and you're really going to enjoy this one. For this particular recipe, before you get right into it, the peas are already cooked. And because they are already cooked, they will go at the very end as part of the final ingredients because we don't want them to turn into mush, but everything else will start at the very beginning, and it's very simple to put together, and I'm excited to share this with you guys. So let's get into recipe number 3, and here's how I'm going to make it. To my sufuria, I'm going to add in my red onion, garlic, ginger, and thyme, and allow this to saute until softened and fragrant. Thereafter, I'm going to add in my minced meat and sear on high heat until golden and brown. Thereafter, I'm going to add in my tomato paste, my soy sauce, my 4 spices, followed by a splash of hot water, and allow this to cook down for about 5 minutes. Once all the flavors have come together, I'm going to add in my cup of cooked peas, mix them in, and thereafter add my noodles, mix it once again, and we're ready to serve. Final recipe in, guys, and she is a stunning beauty. I mean, just look at this bowlful. It looks fantastic, meaty, saucy, inviting, beautiful, and you guys are really going to ace this one at home. Not only will it look exactly like this, but you're really going to enjoy this one. And because this is the final bowlful, let's grab the other 2 and give them a taste test. They all look fantastic, and to be honest, I don't even know which one I'm going to have for supper. Say it's 5 o'clock, so that means for me, supper is in about 1 hour. So let's start with the chicken one. It looks amazing, and I can't wait to taste it. Nothing short of perfection. I am actually happy that I chose drumsticks for this because the meat is absolutely tender. You can taste the lemon, taste the rosemary, the garlic really warms your palate, and this is exactly what I wanted to experience on my palate. Perfection, perfection, perfection. So for the next one, I'm going to grab the coconut one, and it looks fantastic. Guys, Nico Cloud 9. This is exactly how I envisioned the flavors to be. I wanted the spices to be nice and mild, to just lay a foundation for the meatiness of the mushrooms to really be played up, and you can taste the mushrooms to perfection. The mushrooms have a nice bouncy meatiness to it. The coconut flavors coat and tie everything together, and this becomes a nice sunny mouthful in your palate. This mtapenda. Now for the final one. Meaty perfection. You know what I want to do right now? I just want to open my fridge, pour a tall glass of wine, and eat with this bowlful. The flavors of the beef are very, very bold. You can taste the cumin, you can taste the paprika, you can taste the heat of the chili. Everything comes together very, very well. And the meatiness complements the starchiness of the noodle, and I think this combination is truly timeless. I can't wait to see you guys try this out. There are 3 recipes, and I'm truly curious to see which one you guys fall in love with. And if I'm being honest, you're going to love all 3. Don't forget, as always, the exact recipe quantities are listed on my blog, link on the description box. Download the downloadable copy recipe and send it to someone who may not have internet, or just as a love note to them. Subscribe if you're yet to. I would love to have you as part of my family, because there's plenty more goodness awaiting for you guys on this channel. I hope you love this video. For me, it's time to decide which one I'm going to have for supper. And for you guys, enjoy the rest of your Wednesday afternoon. Bye.